Colleen Presz, and I work at Inspira Health Medical Center, and I am the Incidental Lung Nodule Navigator.
Colleen, congratulations on this recognition. We love getting to highlight navigators and people that work really closely with oncology patients in this industry, and would love to know, how many years have you been a navigator and what kind of inspired you to take on this role?
It'll be 1 year at the end of November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it'll be coming up on 1 year. And I was just very interested in the program and just basically how we're screening for these incidental lung nodules. So that's basically what drew me into the interest of this program.
Really cool. What would you say keeps you motivated daily at your job?
You know what? Every time I get off the phone with a patient, I'll have to say, it's just, you really feel good about it. Whether you're even reporting that there could be something more serious, or it could just be as simple as a repeat CAT scan, a follow-up in 6 months or a year. But really just seeing how willing the patients are for me, and how thankful they are for me to get them scheduled. I have to say, every time I get off the phone with them, I'm always so excited when someone answers.
Yeah.
And just getting to talk to the patient and just kind of hearing their story.
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, and those are so powerful, I'm sure, to you. I know when we get to hear, about those patient stories, that's really touching for us. I can only imagine what it means to you and your team, and, what you guys do. What would you say are some barriers that your patients face that you're helping them overcome every day?
So some barriers could be that, just I feel in today's world, some people won't answer their phone because they don't know the number. So always be sure to leave a clear message with who I am and where I'm calling from, and just please give me a call back at their earliest convenience. And sometimes right then and there, when I'm seeing where I'm calling from, they can actually answer through the voicemail now once they hear the voicemail going.
Yes.
That's so great. I get so excited when that happens. And if not, just calling and leaving this message, but then also reaching out a couple more times if I don't hear back. So I would say that's probably one of the barriers, or just trying to get the patient to basically agree to go further and meet with one of the physicians. Sometimes there could be a barrier there that they just might not want to schedule at that moment. And there's been times where somebody's like, can you please call me back in a week? I'm going to go see my primary first, or can you call me back in a month? And I'll kind of educate them on why it's important for me to do it now. But I will also call them back in a week if they want. And if it's usually a month, it's usually I'm going to call you back probably before then, and kind of just talk to them to make sure they're getting this checked out.
Yeah, that's great. And we know how critical it is to act fast when that cancer diagnosis comes through. And cancer is a scary word for a lot of people. And so it, is probably the first time they're dealing with it. And so the navigators like you are so critical in that role of helping educate them of no, this is why. And so I love that, you take the time to do that with your patients you're navigating. What is a piece of advice that you might give to someone who has just been diagnosed with lung cancer?
So this patient, when I called, was really upset, but kind of had some intuition that something was going on. And she actually had come in for something completely unrelated at the time. And I love that the patient that it was on, how it all happened, because I just always remember that call with her.
Yeah.
There's just some people that stick out, and she was one. I mean, I was pretty persistent with her. She had a CAT scan in the past, and this was larger. She had not followed up, and then she had canceled a couple of appointments. And I just kept reaching back out just to let her know I'm here. Leave my number. If she doesn't answer, that's fine, but just know that we're here. And then finally, it was probably about 2 months later, she finally came in for her appointment. She had no-showed twice. But I'm please don't give up yet. Let us keep reaching back out. And then she came, and, and she went. And then from there, just everything, it was a domino effect. She got all her tests done, and she ended up getting a resection. They caught it early, stage 1A, and doesn't have to get chemo or radiation. So for me, I'm just being there and reaching out to her and letting her know. And she was crying on the phone and everything, and just kind of talking her through it, and just being so happy for her that she did go through this, and she overcame her fears and came in. I don't want them to think that I'm just here to kind of coordinate the beginning and then let them go off. It's please reach out if you need help setting up anything, because we want to make sure we're leading you in the right direction. And we want you to realize with doing this here at Inspira that you're part of the team, and we want to see you succeed.
From your experience, coming up on a year, to other navigators who are just starting their journey as a lung nodule navigator, what would be your advice to them starting their career?
So the advice I would have is that you're never alone. There's always somebody for you to like reach out to, especially through like Azra, through the program, and also through your director. That if there's any barriers at all, like just going up the chain of command and like reaching out, that has really helped me, just like especially like these like every few weeks or just as often as I need it to meet with someone from Azra, like that I can let them know what date and time I'm available, and to be able to block off that time and just be able to go over any concerns or anything that I might have that might make the program better, and that they listen to you. Like I remember there was nowhere to put patients like numbers, which
Mhm.
sounds like it wouldn't be a big deal, and it was like changed within like a few days.
Yeah.
That to me, just like seeing like how quick and how responsive everything is, and just knowing you have like that team of people that are working with you, like you're never alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something we hear a lot about too, of, just how easy an implementation like Azra is, into any size healthcare system that we can work to accommodate your workflows. That leads us perfectly into my last question of, in your experience, what do you see as the role of technology specifically in oncology care?
I mean, I'm blown away with how this early intervention technology of like picking this up, just how quick you can get things moving. Like you could come to the ER from being in a motor vehicle accident. This can flag on your CAT scan. I can call you in a day or within reading it, sometimes even that day if the patient is discharged. Obviously, we won't call the patient unless they're discharged. I wouldn't call them in the hospital.
Right.
And have you like it's been as quick as this picks it up. I go through their chart. I'm calling them within a day, and they have an appointment either that week or the next week. So I would just say, like, just basically how this early detection is like key, and just
Mhm.
how thankful the patients are, because 9 times out of 10, when they're getting out of the hospital and they have their discharge instructions and they're kind of focusing on why they were there. Whereas this being an incidental type finding, can some reason, even though I can see it in their discharge paperwork, gets overlooked. And it's really good to have that backup and that reassurance of like, we're calling you to say like, hey, we're here and we want to help you follow up. Like, is there anyone we can contact? Even if you want to go through your primary first, like let us fax over the results of your CAT scan and like get things moving. And I just feel
Yeah.
like that is like just this early detection is just so important.
And that's really exciting for the future of oncology
Yeah.
care and how many more patients we can surface and help. And you guys
Yes.
are a huge, huge part of that. So, Colleen, thank you so much for everything that you do to navigate patients through their cancer journeys. We know that it is a job where, not a lot of people know what navigators do behind the scenes, but we want you to feel recognized and seen and supported. So, thank you for all that you do, and
Yes.
congratulations again.
Oh, thank you so much.